This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace world. Welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar, ECW original, and co-star of the London Film Critics Best Picture winner, the wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
It's a morning of mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning feeling good, but after a night of, watching the Phillies win, watching Backlash. As Dan Housen would say, Backlash. And then seeing the Flyers get eliminated from the playoffs. It's just like,
Ugh.
and then the fact that I woke up, it's the morning of mixed emotions, but I'm in a good headspace. I'm here. I'm ready. I have my cold brew.
There you go.
I actually remembered a seltzer.
There we go.
And some water, and hopefully I'm somewhat productive today. There's been a busy week for me. As I take a little sippy poo, between pro wrestling, Philly sports, the UFO stuff that's going on this week, and mentally, I'm spinning many plates this week, this past week, and I'm sure I'm going to be spinning more plates in the mentally in the upcoming weeks. But more importantly, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm doing well. It's been a busy weekend as well. It's been a busy couple weeks since I got done at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But yeah, I'm all right, man. It's it's Sunday. I'm here with you. Life is good at the present. I am actually recording live from the dungeon. I am actually in my son's room. There are things that I have not seen in here, and it is disgusting in here, and it makes me kind of sad that they live like this. But they are. I am here because it's Mother's Day, and Mrs. Goober has the room to herself. It's one of the things she requested, so I said I would happily move over here. So we want to wish Happy Mother's Day to all of our friends. I know friend of the show, Heather Riley, is watching as well. Happy Mother's Day to you, and a pleasant Baba Booey to you all as well.
Happy Mama's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all of our moms watching. We had a lot of chats going on here. A lot of people in the chat already this morning from the Patreon group. Good morning, everyone. Greetings and salutation, Housens. Good morning to the resident professor, Mass Sanity. Good morning, sir. We have Jesse Brown here. Good morning, friends. Good morning to you, sir. We have Travis is here. Hey now. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Always a pleasure. We got Matthew Elvis Presley. Good morning, everyone. Let's hear it for the leader of the Blue Line and our tribal beef, the Blue Meanie. Acknowledge him. Thank you very much. Insert your own fart noises here because I don't have my board. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Jesse Brown's putting up the one here, and we're going to get to that in a second. He says when Massey says when Miz and Kip Wilson confronted Danhausen on SmackDown and said Backlash, you can see Danhausen suddenly say Backlash right after that. I'm telling you, man, I will get it. There's a lot to talk about today, but we'll like that video I have watched no less than 3 dozen times, and I just can't get enough of it.
I think you're being modest.
So good, man.
Yeah,
so good.
You're being modest.
And we got
Machete's
here. One more quick shout out. Machete is here. Machete.
Hello, lovely.
Good morning. So go ahead, sir. What were you going to say?
We're talking about the Backlash. I have fantasy booked so many different angles of which he could have said Backlash from. Like there should have been like a side angle where he goes Backlash. And then could be a shot where you just see his boots and his leg shoots in between his heads like he's bending over and goes Backlash. Please just let me help. Not that he needs my help.
Right.
Please allow me be amused on some of the. I'd love to be amused on some of the Danhausen stuff.
Man.
What I'm interested in is they did on SmackDown. They were doing the thing where he was messing with the cloning machine. It didn't work.
Yeah.
He went, shit. First off, he broke his old rule of no cursing.
Uh-huh.
Because, people were cursing. He goes, no cursing. Because if you curse, they take you off the air. If you're now on TV, you don't make human monies.
Human monies.
But I want to know if there's because it airs on SmackDown airs on Netflix overseas, so I wonder if they didn't bleep the shit.
Well, I wonder too. I wonder if it was just a gimmick shit though, because like Gimme Sport did that to me a couple weeks ago when they edited the Dominic Mysterio video when we're talking about him wrestling Dean Malenko, and I said, "Oh, Dirty Dom and Dean Malenko, that match would be freaking awesome." And they bleeped it as if I was saying the F word, and I reached out to the editors. I was like, "Why did you do that? Like, what the fuck was that about? Like, if I would have cussed, I would have let it rip." But like, so maybe they did that. I don't know.
I'm all about the gimmick shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of it, bro. Give me all the gimmick stuff. I'd say I would really love to see. I really would love to see them lean into the Miz stuff and just do more of, because it's working, right? Like it's 100% working. Whatever they're doing, just they don't need to stop. Do you think? And I know, and maybe we'll start here because I know there's one big thing we definitely got to talk about today. But do you think there's a possibility? Because I've seen some people talking and saying like, oh, it's too much. He's overexposed. He's that. Do you think it's a possibility for them to overexpose Danhausen and kind of ruin where they're at? Or do you think it's where he is right now is exactly where he should be kind of long term?
I would just say limit what he does in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he can't wrestle, but I don't think the fans should see him wrestle as much. If he's has the ability to curse people, he should be able to just win every match,
Mm-hmm.
Before bell rings, all right, you're cursed. 1, 2, 3. You want to keep the cursing to like backstage stuff and backstage shenanigans.
Backlash.
Yeah, dude, me and Mrs. Meanie were fucking howling. They were doing the one bit with, Kit and Miz. And they're, sitting down. He's got the list of people, to sign up to be his partner. And he gets up and he runs around them, and then he runs in front of the camera and goes, meow.
Dude, when he did that, I popped so hard. I was like, this is like just fucking beautiful.
And then there was a later time where Paige and I forget who else.
Brie Bella.
Thank you. Paige and Brie Bella were walking down, and all of a sudden a ladder falls over. They turn to look at it, and he runs by the camera and goes, meow. So simple.
It's so good.
So fucking simple. Where guys are, thinking of soliloquies and, crazy shit to do, the triple Indy off the top rope. Just a simple meow gets a fucking more of a reaction, but you hear his fucking the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
He's over. Yeah. If you can get over, you can do anything, really. And I know people go, oh, well, that's easier said than done. Well, I didn't say it was easy to get over. But once you're over, you're over.
Well, Meanie.
Yes, dear.
You know what they say. WWE and DX.
Yeah.
But no, you're right though. It's like, well, Danhausen, you can't overexpose him. You can't. Though. There's no way to do it. There's no way to like. Dude, I don't know, man. What they're doing is perfect. It's great. I don't know, man.
No, it's it's a thread throughout a show. It's not eating up too much TV time. It's a good dose of it's a good dose of Danhausen.
Yeah.
Keep them in the proper doses to where it doesn't get to the fact where people are becoming numb to them.
Right.
But they're still happy to see him, and it's not like, this again. Just keep it, keep it good, And last night, at Backlash was fucking great. Everybody's, assuming, try to figure out who's going to be his partner. And then, I saw, people, crap on it, but dude, it got a fucking reaction. You know,
Yep.
the audience in the building will tell you whether it works or not. Not the
Yep.
guy who's predisposed to already hate what he's about to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Man the people who pay a lot of money to watch something they hate so that just they could tell the internet they hate it. Those people are important because they're paying for the subscription and they're boosting the WWE signal, whether they know it or not. I just say if you saying you hate something helps the thing you hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I never understood that. If I don't like something, I just all right, next, fast forward. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go on
Yeah,
to the
moving on
next
to the
thing.
next thing. I'm tuned
Yeah,
out. I don't even want to see it again. Just let's
yeah.
keep it moving. Yeah.
I'm not going to give it oxygen, but the audience there live, that's all you need to hear.
Yeah.
No, and of course, initially when he came out in his first appearance, he got booed, but that's just because people were expecting Jericho. With this,
Right. He was a victim of that mindset that people already had established. Was like, oh, Jericho's definitely coming out. And it's like, well, nobody fucking said that.
yeah, he was a victim of preconceived notions,
Yeah.
But now that he's been on TV and doing everything, dude, please give me a feed of just Danhausen videos.
Yeah.
Because they make me happy. They make me forget about the crummy things that not my life's good.
Yeah.
But like something crappy to happen in traffic,
Yeah.
just where somebody cut across 3 lanes of highway almost drove me off the fucking road again.
Mm.
Yeah, I could watch a Danhausen video and just be like, that's
Yep.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Just give me a happy distraction.
I
And
find
that's what
I find myself enjoying those moments where it's just like I just need the serenity of this. Like wrestling doesn't always have to be 5-star matches and fucking, Osprey and Okada in the Tokyo Dome. Like sometimes I just want silly shit.
Yeah.
And this is the silliest stuff that can possibly be on. And there's a bunch of comments going on right now in the Patreon chat here. But Mass Sanity says here, he goes, Danhausen said, people said my partner was going to be Cola Man Punk, Oba Femi, or Jelly Roll. Who said that? There were confirmed reports. I wouldn't call any of them. That's work. And I think based upon the character, it's almost like, it's almost like I kind of expected Punk to be out there. Like, I don't know why I did, but it was also like when the Minniehausen thing happened, I was like, oh, that totally tracks. That makes perfect sense here in the concept of this story, right? Like it makes sense and the character and all like that. And I thought it was perfect. Let's go back to the top here and see. Travis says it was bleeped in Canada on Netflix.
Okay, thank you.
Mansanity says on one of the pre-shows or post-shows last night, he said, I used to think if I swore I would get thrown off TV, but now I'm told that I'm allowed. I did, and I'm still on the air, so swear all the time. No? Listen.
Oh, he said they say no cursing or no swearing.
No swearing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Jesse Brown says he said shit last night while coming out, and the clone machine produced Minniehausen. That is, I need to go back and watch that. I just went shit. I need to like just the idea of Danhausen dropping a shit. Like I need to hear that. Let me try that. Let me try that sentence again. Just the idea of Danhausen saying the word shit makes me laugh. He's been all over ESPN. He's taken over the media house, and yeah, he's doing all kinds of stuff with Stephen A. Smith. And like, I mean, dude, it's over, bro. He is over as hell. Paige and Bree, the Bella clones. Yep, that's right. Travis says, my mom, who hates wrestling, got a kick out of Danhausen segment at WrestleMania. Who didn't? Because he's the GOAT now. John Cena said so. His new best friend. And let's see what else. Mass Entity is answering our question. He says, as long as Danhausen is making human monies for WWE, they'll keep going. And he's making lots of human monies for them now. So that
apparently Fanatics was blown away by like his shirt sales and his merch sales.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that's all you really need to know. People go, oh, did I get this Uncle Dave give me 5 stars? You know what? Let me see my t-shirt sales money. That people vote with their dollars, not with their clicks. Well, I mean, they can vote with their clicks too, but asses in the seats, merch flying off the shelves. That's really, how you could tell was something successful,
Yeah, absolutely.
But it doesn't mean if something that doesn't mean if something doesn't, sell a lot of merch, it wasn't good. Just, I'm just trying to, say, for all the, there's a lot of Danhausen detractors out there. People, what has my wrestling become? I was like, bro, it's the WWE. Is today the first day you've ever watched WWE?
Yeah,
I
is
remember
your
when I was
first
a
day on
kid,
site?
old.
Yeah.
I remember, being a kid, 10 years old, asking my folks to let me stay up and watch Saturday night's main event and having to explain to Uncle Elmer fucking wedding. It just WWE's done not goofy shit, but they've done unorthodox stuff that some traditional pro wrestling haven't done or they have done, but WWE has just done it on a bigger stage. But
Yeah.
and I sound like a WWE fanboy, but I'm just trying to say people are mad at WWE for doing WWE things. Every
Mhm.
year after WrestleMania, oh my God, they fired everybody. It's like, yeah, it's the post WrestleMania releases. Or
This is
welcome
what
to
they
wrestling.
do. Yeah, this
Wel-
is what they do.
welcome to wrestling. This is going to happen. Spoiler alert: this is going to happen next year too.
Yep.
I remember I was in WWE, and we're sitting around TV one day, and Gangrel goes, "Oh man, a little nervous." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "It was a post WrestleMania. Cuts are coming." I was like, "Dude, I think you're fine. I think you're good.
Yeah, I think you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're over, bro." But yeah, it's one of those things that it's an unfortunate part of the business, just people
Mhm.
get tired after WrestleMania. But last night Backlash was good.
Yeah.
To me, matches were good. But color everybody shocked that the Blue Meanie got much enjoyment out of a character like Danhausen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm envious of Danhausen.
Yeah.
Just he's so funny. You could tell a lot of his stuff could be improv. And that's a huge thing in professional wrestling. People think, pro wrestlers, they're a bunch of actors. No, we're a bunch of reactors.
Mhm.
It's, like in, improvisational comedy, they go, yes, and,
Right.
you got to roll with the punches and, go along with what, your screen partner gives you. And he is great. He is
Yep.
great. And I can't sing his praises enough. And I'm sure I've done it countlessly over the last couple of weeks.
Mhm. We both, but I mean, it's impossible not to. And like,
Yeah.
what's his name? Mass Sanity's got a good comment, and then I'll go back to something you said. Fans complaining about Danhausen now watched Kamala and George the Animal Steel.
That's perfect.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
And
He's not wrong.
it's not degrading Kamala or George Steele.
No.
They were characters in WWE, and people who grew up with that are watching Danhausen go, "Oh my, the sanctity of my sports entertainment."
Oy.
It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing.
Mm.
Just enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling is a buffet, and if anybody knows about buffets, it's me. And there should be something for everybody because
Mhm.
every match was the same. You could leave after the second match because the
Yeah.
rest of the show is going to be the same thing.
I
Just
prefer
enjoy it.
I
Yeah.
prefer the buffet, dude. I prefer the idea. Um, I prefer the idea of having different options because again, like you said it in the chat here too, and people in my own life, like people in I can't tell you how many times a day I get messages from people that don't watch wrestling. And they like, Mike Jr., friend of the show, he's starting to watch wrestling, but even Lane had said to me, he's like, who's this Danhausen guy? I just saw him on ESPN. He's like, can someone explain this to me? And I was like, yes, here's a 3-hour dissertation. Right. But it's like, that's the point. That's the gimmick, right? Like you're this goofy face painted guy, this dark, horror inspired, goofy villain, but not a villain, right? Like tripping over his own feet and the nonsense when the flashbang happens and they're still like, that's all really good shit. And I will never understand how people don't enjoy this stuff. But what you're saying to your point about like the the reactions to the crowd, right? All you got to do is watch the Hogan and Rock match. I mean, they had an entire match that was scripted, that they had gone over multiple times. And as soon as they got out there and the crowd started cheering Hogan and booing Rock, they were like, okay, let's just wing it. And that's exactly what they did. They just won.
Called it in the ring. Called it in the ring. You know,
that's a level of crowd control and like almost acting psychology that can't be taught. That's the stuff that you learn when you're in the ring, right? And you know that, like you've been in the industry, like that's the stuff that you have to be able to do that can't be taught.
No.
And I think that's what people miss a lot about this stuff is, it's like, you like your theater kids, your acrobats, you are, stunt performers, like you're everything kind of, it's this beautiful, like amalgamation of everything in once. And I think that's why people really like it. But I do want to talk about one more thing here. Backlash. I do want to talk about this. We're kind of shifting gears here a little bit. There was a big drop this week. And I know that this was a big moment for UFO news. And I wanted to give you time to kind of talk about it. And the one thing I wanted to ask was that star-shaped thing in the sky.
Right.
What the hell was that?
Well, so for the people who is their first day listening today, I am a huge UFO enthusiast because I believe I believe I've seen one. I know my grandmom has seen one. After my experience of seeing one, I know my grandma, woke me up one morning and we lived in Atlantic City. She's looking out the window and saw something in the sky. So it's been my fascination for most of my life since I was 9 years old. So this week, it's hard to talk about because this topic could easily go political, and it's not about politics.
Right. To be clear at the top, excuse me, we're not talking about anything political. We're talking about the files that were released. That's it.
Yeah. And, because everybody's like, oh, this UFO thing is a distraction. It's not a fucking distraction. The wheels have for what happened this week have been started. The wheels had been set in motion back in 2017 when the New York Times published the article saying that the Pentagon confirms that the existence of UFO/UAP. I guys try to remember to say UAP, but the whole UFO thing has been a cover up since the 40s. So it's well over 80 years. People think Roswell was the first UFO incident, and there's more than that. But this past week, the U.S. government released what they call UFO files, which in reality it should be UAP. But the reason why, and for those who aren't familiar, why they stopped saying UFO and introduced UAP is UFO has a little bit of a stigma to it, but also it's believed that these objects are air and sea. So if you say unidentified flying object, if you put in a FOIA request for unidentified flying object, they could go, oh, well, they could scrap half of them because some of them will go in the water too. So UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. So, which means they could go air and sea. And it's believed that most of them are in the water, which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to hide, 90% of our ocean's unmapped, so the government released the first batch of files. That needs to be important to say. The first batch. This isn't people, because I see a lot of people going, oh, this is it. No, this is the first batch. And what they're trying to do is like a slow drip. If you put everything out all at once, people get confused and they'll tune out and get bored and say, I don't care. You spoon feed people week, a couple drops so they can, look at the first batch of drops, digest it. Here comes the next one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So
How
I've
much?
had
I don't mean to interrupt, but how many did they drop? Like, was it like, because I think I've been trying to keep up, but like, how many did they drop at one time? Did they release all of it, or was it just like a kind of a
no,
drip?
there was like 100 something files, some PDF, some video. And if you get a chance, some of the PDFs go with the videos. It's just they're not side by side in the drop. You know, there's be a PDF explaining the one video, but you just gotta in your mind, figure out which PDF goes with the video, which that's a whole nother story. But uh, most of the videos are what you expect. It's people are like, oh, where's the 4K video? Well, we're getting to it, and they're still in the process of declassifying some stuff.
There's 4K video?
Allegedly. So, I mean, my God, if a Russian plane buzzes one of our air fighters, to have 4K video of the plane coming up next to our air fighters, but our pilots are seeing, our military pilots and our commercial pilots are seeing these things all the time.
Yeah.
But now it's relegated to, the FLIR videos, the black and white videos and stuff like that. But there was some stuff in there that, I had never seen before. There was that one thing you talked about with the star-shaped object.
Yeah, I saw that on my Twitter, and I was like, man, I can't wait to talk to me about this on Sunday, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, if anything, that one might be, I don't know what. Well, that's the thing of a unidentified part, right? People are trying to debunk it. It could be this, it could be that. But until you tell me what it actually is, it's still unidentified. People have their theories, and I'm not going to float them out there because they could be wrong too. So until somebody officially says what it is, I'm going to still say it's unidentified. But there's a lot of stuff from the Middle East, a lot of stuff from Greece, and what they have to do with these videos, there's a lot of black bars on the screens because they had to redact, what the platform they were filming,
probably some of the ships and shit, and like, or not ships, but like the aircraft, and like, if they have coding for the missions and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they had to cover up the technology that they used to film these things and all that stuff. And locations, dates, times, don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But they want to show the footage. So, but some of the footage, I mean, there was one video I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I was supposed to see.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2 seconds. But then there's like a 5-minute video. And there's this one video of a craft, this moving at will, as it was like it was a craft was flying, and then went down above one of those windmill farms, in the middle of a field somewhere, and it's just like weaving in and out. And it's just like, it was like the coolest thing I ever seen. That's probably the most convincing. The one, my favorite one that I saw. I mean, there was a couple that were they're flying over the ocean, of course, and we're going through the clouds. And a lot of these things, people are like, oh, how come we don't see them all the time? Well, a lot of times they use cloud as cover too.
Right.
If walk up to an ant farm and tell me how many ants turn around and look back at you. We're busy living our lives. We're busy being ants. We're busy driving our cars. We're busy looking down. We're busy looking at our phones. We're not always looking at the sky.
Yeah.
But there's trained observers out there within our government who see these things all the time. And supposedly there's Representative Luna had put in a request for 46 videos with specific dates, specific times, and what happened. And people were hoping it would have came out in the first batch, but supposedly there's coming out in the second batch. So there's supposed to be another batch to come out within the next 30 days, which I'm hoping is maybe next Friday.
Yeah,
they make it a
weekly drop. Yeah,
make a Friday UFO Friday or whatever, UAP Friday. But there's a lot of good stuff that came. The only people that came out of this kind of looking shady was NASA. Because for decades NASA's like, there's nothing there. If we had it, we would say it. And there's some photos that came from some of the moon trips.
Yeah.
Where there's objects in the sky, and they had to say, no, we didn't have any lunar satellites flying around the moon at this time. So whatever that is in the sky is anomalous. And then there's also actual audio recordings from one of the Apollo missions, maybe Apollo 17, where they're calling back down to Houston, and they say, the term is, I have a bogey at 10 o'clock, which means I have something flying next to us at 10 o'clock. And it's like, and Houston's like, come again? He's like, they're like, is that the thing that helped launch into space? I forget the term for it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's a bogey. It's at 10 o'clock, 3 miles from us. And this, it's pretty spectacular. Now there's a certain video, I would say there's a press conference after one of the moon trips. A lot of conspiracy theorists talk about
conspiracies.
Yeah. You tell me.
Now you tell me, Brian.
Conspiracy theory.
You got bogeys around Earth's moon.
I got a bogey at 10 o'clock. Which nostril? There's one press conference where the astronauts just look shell-shocked, right? And every conspiracy theorist goes, see, this is they're guilty because they didn't go to the moon. But now it's the same people who are on that call that said, yeah, we got something at 10 o'clock that's following us, here in space. And a lot of things are starting to line up.
That's crazy.
Now I got to give a shout out to a guy. There's a lot of UFO people I follow, but there's a guy, Jesse Michaels. His Twitter is at Alchemy American. His podcast is called American Alchemy. But yesterday he released an interview with a Japanese and NASA historian named Takano Jusen. Takano Jusen was a very good friend with astronaut Eugene Cernan, who did multiple space trips. And Takano and Eugene had become good friends. And, this interview, which if you go to his Twitter at Alchemy American, it was released 8 p.m. on May 8th. It's got 1.2 million views. And, a lot of Americans go, how come we never went back to the moon? So Mr. Jusen is talking to Jesse Michaels through an interpreter. And he's talking about, how his friendship with Eugene Cernan. And he talked to Eugene. He said, how come we've never gone back? And Eugene said to Takano, there was one mission where they're on the moon and they're sleeping in their capsule, and he got a message mentally that says, please don't come back. Like something there on the moon said, please don't come back. Now there's audio of astronauts on the moon saying, did you just see what I saw? And this, that, and the other thing. But it's believed that the non-human intelligence, people keep, and I'm trying to stop saying aliens too, NHI, non-human intelligence, because there's different forms. They communicate telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
And Eugene Cernan, astronaut on the moon, said, please don't come back. Take care of your own planet. We're doing research here and you're kind of fucking it up, without saying it that way. It's like, this non-human intelligence was on the moon doing their own research. And here comes the Americans
Screwing it up.
screwing it up on, however many missions there were to the moon. They're like, please don't come back. And he
Oh
said
my God.
there's really why they never went back. And there's debriefings. There's if you go through the PDFs, there's debriefings of astronauts who come from the moon who say what they've seen. And then there's audio files of, astronauts saying what they saw. And NASA does not look good one bit in this because they've said, oh, there's nothing there. Now I watched an interview yesterday with Lou Elizondo, who is a polarizing figure in the world of UAP, but he did work for the Pentagon. He said, wait till more NASA video comes out.
That's what is kind of, I don't want to say it's freaking me out, but it's kind of what I'm waiting for, just to see what's out. And what's his name? Sorry, I'm just pulling the comment back up here. Where did he say it? Oh Christ, hold on one second. I had it queued up and now it's gone. Oh, Matthew Elvis Presley. He says, I think it's more crazy to think that we're the only life on millions of planets than it is to think there's other life. I think there's absolutely no way. And I've thought this for a long time, and long-time listeners of the show will know that. I don't believe for a second, and I never have, that we are the only life force in this gigantic science experiment, whatever it is that we are existing in, right? Our universe on the bottom of a Coca-Cola can, right? Whatever the fuck this is. It would be disingenuous and totally it would be ridiculous to think that that's what this is, right?
It would be arrogant.
Arrogant. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. It's I can't imagine that's the reality. And so when I see these things and I see this stuff, I'm like, oh my God, this is nuts, but not it's not oh, you're crazy. It's just my mind has a hard time wrapping around some of this stuff because it's so wild. You just, and I think when people start shitting on NASA and they're like, oh, well, why didn't they're like, oh, well, if we would have had something, would have said something, but were they able to say anything? You know what I'm saying? Were they actually able to bring this up? Were they actually able to have conversations about this? Because I would imagine they probably didn't, right?
Right.
They probably weren't able to. And I think, I hope that most of our leadership, most of them are smart enough to realize that, or at least have some kind of common sense to know that this isn't just the Kennedy files, right? This isn't just stuff that happened in the 1960s, or, you know what I mean? This is stuff that could literally make people lose their shit. And I think
that's the worry, because it just came out that a couple months ago, there was a meeting between pastors and, parts of our government, basically saying you need to prepare your people for what's about to come out. And, David Grush, who just did an interview with the Financial Times, said that things are going to start ramping up within the next 60 to 90 days. So now this also goes back to there's a UFO agent. I can't think of his last name, but I can't think of his name, but I think his last name's Ramirez. Maybe I'll drop it. If I find the video, I'll drop it in our Patreon. Former CIA. And years ago, I'm talking about years ago, he said, the year that everybody's talking about is 2027, in which we get, okay, they're here. Not only they're here, they've been here and they've been among us, kind of thing. People are like, oh, how do you travel for all those million? Well, maybe they've been here. And like I said, in the ocean, allegedly, there's a place in Alaska and a place in Africa and then Antarctica is this huge mystery where if you go past a certain point, you could be arrested. If you're there, there's a placard there that says, do not go beyond this point. There's a video just came out. A guy brought a Starlink to Alaska and he was pulled aside by authorities and they confiscated his Starlink because they didn't want internet access down there. So there's a lot of things going on down at the South Pole too, which could lead you to believe, something goofy's going on. What it is, who knows? But it's things that fascinate me, and like David Grush says, things should be starting to ramp up soon.
That is I think we need to talk. We need to talk about this every week as these things start ramping up, because I think this is really great stuff. Very fascinating stuff. Little Jimmy's here, by the way, too. Hold on, I gotta give a shout out to hashtag Sorensen Levels here. Good to see you, little Jimmy. Says, fun fact: Independence Day turns 30 years old this year. That is crazy.
I saw that in the theater. I saw that in the theater.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I was on a vacation in Florida, watched that, and yeah. I don't know. I don't think things will be that heavy where they're taking over the world, but I definitely think we're, like the song by Pornos for Pyros had a great song called Pets. Basically, how we're pets.
Yeah,
aliens are our masters, kind of thing.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. I am. The more the days go on, the less I am surprised about everything. And,
well, look at the technological jump. In the last 100 years, there's hundreds of thousands of years, nothing, and then
all of a sudden,
airplanes, cable, this, that,
electricity, yeah.
And there's also a belief that CIA, planted stuff in Hollywood to put out there to get us, prepare us. I mean, look at all half the shit Star Trek talked about that came true.
Dude, the CIA tried to fucking kill Castro with the Chicago outfit. Like nothing that anybody says about the CIA is like, oh yeah, that checks. That tracks.
Yeah.
Fucking tracks completely.
I mean, FaceTiming, Star Trek was ahead of the game on that.
I can literally pick this up right now and call you through a messenger app on my phone and talk to you and see your, like, this is a fucking tricorder. This is a tricorder with video. That's what this is.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So, this is the stuff that keeps me fascinated, and hopefully I didn't bore the audience too much, but
no, not at all. I'm very fascinated. I always am, and I love your passion for this stuff, and I love the way that you talk about it. And I learn stuff when I'm here sitting with you. So I can't wait to talk about it next week, and I'm hoping there's more drops that come up this week. Mass Sanity says, if the Pittsburgh Pirates had drafted Fidel Castro, the world could have been different.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that is a wild thought. Yeah. That is a very wild thought, but
interesting stuff.
Interesting things. And thank you. That is why he is the resident historian. Little Jimmy also says that the BWO turns 30 this year as well. And we will definitely talk about that when the time is right for show.
And next Monday, I turn 53.
Oh, wow. Episode 53 of Brian Heffron. I love it. But Meanie, I got a quick question for you.
Oh,
just a real quick thought that was in my head. We were talking about UFOs or UAPs rather, and it just like, and then we start talking all kinds of stuff, and now I'm trying to. Oh yeah, are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to.
Backlash.
I'm excited to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
And don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag #AskMeanie. Real quick, I want to say, this is great. You'll appreciate this, Meanie. I stole the Castro line from Dennis Leary. It's only fitting to steal lines from a joke thief like him.
I love you, Mr. Sanity. If I wasn't already married.
And then little Jimmy says, shout out to Muscle Man Malcolm. Yes, he graduated from college this weekend. He did. He got his master's degree in communications from Westchester University. So I'm going to give him a shout out and say congratulations. And Waffle House on
a kid, but everybody's a kid next to me.
Waffle House on us. And, Meanie, I could sure go for a Baby Ruth right now.
Baby Ruth.
And I would love to know what you're sipping on today at this present junction.
Since I freaking remembered it. I got the bowl and basket ginger.
Interesting.
I've been sipping on it because it's cheap and it's delicious. So
yeah,
even though it says ginger, it kind of tastes like popcorn.
Interesting.
I had this one before, so
yeah. And as always, I have Old Reliable here. I have the cheap shit from Aldi, the pink grapefruit. I'm very much looking forward to this. I hope you're sipping on anything wherever you're at this morning. So we're gonna crack them in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah.
Ooh, that was
the citrusy goodness.
Yeah,
love it here.
Let me get my hold on.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting. I see you.
Cap was no selling me. Jesus Christ.
Cheers, beer, sir. Pickies up.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, such good shit.
Very good. Very, very nice.
Man, Sanity says, Malcolm, go to Waffle House to celebrate. No, we haven't gone yet, but we're going to. So that is on the plan. Baby Ruth liked the Goonies. Yep. We are bougie on a Sunday morning. Yes, that is correct, sir. That is right, sir.
With the $5
word. Let's see. Jesse Brown says, ask everyone, was Cena's announcement as groundbreaking as they made us think? And for those who are for the uninitiated, John Cena came out and announced the John Cena Classic last night at Backlash. And they are going to put NXT talent against main roster talent. And they're going to compete, but fans can still vote for their favorite winners. It's a very unique set of circumstances. What do you think about the John Cena Classic?
I'm excited. It's another avenue to help showcase talent. Maybe for guys who are in NXT, or maybe guys on the undercard who need an avenue to, get some more TV time or more experience, more exposure, get over kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. The explanation went on a little bit long.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been cool if he said, come as John Cena Classic, where we pit WWE talent versus NXT talent. Details are coming up in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned or whatever. But, the live crowd seemed a little bit like, okay,
let's move it on. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, the concept sounds great. It's another avenue for more talent to, maybe talent that isn't getting enough TV time to get some TV time, and you could get some interesting matchups as always, like you do in a tournament setting where you get babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel, and some matchups you probably wouldn't get on a normal SmackDown, Raw, or NXT broadcast. So I'm all for it. It sounds good.
Yep, I'm with it. Thank you for the question, sir. Matthew Elvis Presley, who has also informed us, says he's enjoying a left-handed cigarette this morning. Love that for you, pal. Any thoughts on? Have one for me, please. Have any thoughts on Ted Turner's passing and what he meant to wrestling and his love of the sport?
Talk about a pioneer.
Yeah.
There's a maverick. You can even say he was a maverick. But there's Ted Turner. Everybody who wanted to be Ted Turner tried to be Ted Turner since then, and most have failed horribly at being Ted Turner. Talk about successful entrepreneur who was what was the saying? He was cable before cable, with Superstation, and he built his empire on the back of professional wrestling. From everybody who I know who was an Atlanta Braves fan back in the day said the Braves stunk, and Ted loved professional wrestling, as he would say, billionaire Ted. But yeah, he built his empire on the back of professional wrestling because wrestling's an affordable form of entertainment. You don't have to rent a big elaborate film set or this. You just need a ring and a camera and a couple storylines, and he loved it so much he went on to buy it was NWA. He went on Rocket Promotions, that's to say, and turned it into WCW, and gave us one of the most magical eras of professional wrestling, the Monday Night Wars.
Absolutely.
But, Ted Turner's more than just the Monday Night Wars. He did a lot of great stuff. If you have HBO Max, I believe there's a documentary on Ted Turner. I forget how many parts. It's maybe 6 parts. But he did a lot of good stuff, man. Between the Goodwill games and everything else. I remember the first day TNT went on the air. That's how old I am. Came home from school, And you turn the channel over to where TNT was supposed to be, and there's the TNT logo with a countdown clock. And then what, at a certain time, they had the grand opening, and then the first movie was Gone with the Wind on TNT. So
Also what they say when people are in a stall next to you.
pretty much.
No, Ted Turner, and again, if you haven't had a chance to check it out too, friends of the show, Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson did a whole great, probably the first 25 minutes of 83 Weeks this week was about Ted Turner's passing, and it was just phenomenal. I mean,
that's what I will be listening to today.
I remember the first time I watched wrestling that wasn't WWE or WWF at the time. I was in Georgia. So my dad's Uncle Tillman, and the only thing I remember about Uncle Tillman, he was like 108 for like 30 years. And he had these gigantic dinner plate ears, and they were humongous, right?
Yeah.
And they were loyal viewers of before, when it was, I guess, Jim Crockett Promotions and then WCW. And so I remember watching WCW. I want to say it was probably 1995. I think it was before. I think Hogan maybe had joined at that point, but I don't really remember. Maybe actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm confusing these. He was watching a tape of Dusty Rhodes. It was an old, like from the early, like late 80s, early 90s Dusty Rhodes. And I remember being like kind of taken by that. And then that's like when I kind of discovered the territory days, or the territory stuff, because I was young. I didn't really know about much of it then. Like I knew about WCW, but it was like, okay, Hulk Hogan's there, but I don't know. I don't really want to watch this because I don't even know where to find it. It was on, what was it, TBS on a Saturday at 6:05, right? And I'm like, I'm playing, or I'm doing something else. And Ted Turner, I mean, again, and it's true. Like I know that there is, and to be fair, there's a lot of ECW fingerprints on even all of the current product, not just WWE, but AEW, TNA. Like that influence is prevalent everywhere. But I don't think the industry would be the way that it is without Ted Turner, and also to Eric Bischoff. With Eric Bischoff, I mean, he was given the reins, and Ted let him do his thing, and that's how we got this stuff. And it's just, it's hard to argue the impact that this man had. But yeah, I mean, a maverick and a true like conservationalist, and gave $1 billion to the United Nations, that they're still able to be, like not just, he was just like unbelievably philanthropic. And it's just, it's a shame. It's a shame. And he had a great life. And I know that he, I'm hoping he's at peace now. So
yeah.
Ask Goober. Oh, thank you. What does it say about AEW creative? That I guess what he's asking is, what does it say about AEW creative because WWE did more with Danhausen in a month than AEW did in 2 years with him? I don't think it says much about it, and I don't mean that in the pejorative. What I mean by that is, like, I think sometimes characters just don't work the way that you think they will in some promotions, right?
Yeah.
And you can also look at, and Meanie, you can jump in after this as well, because I would love your take on it. It's like the American Nightmare. When the American Nightmare really started to become a thing, right? With the the entrance and the song and the big coats and the blonde, the whole presentation that ended up in WWE with Cody Rhodes, it didn't translate really all that well initially in AEW, if you recall, right?
Yeah.
And the reason is because that's a very sports entertainment product. And so when he went to WWE, the shit hit like a peanut butter and jelly or a turkey and cheese sandwich with potato chips on it after you get out of grandma's pool. Like that shit hit hard. And it's because it's marketed to the right audience. Yeah. And that's not to say that there's anything necessarily wrong with what AEW is doing or what they did with Danhausen. I think, as in all things with that company, they're limited in scope and size and what they're able to do. And I just don't think that Danhausen was the right fit for that brand. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Like no disrespect, no shade to anybody over there, like nothing. I just think that it's sometimes things don't work, and that's okay. Right. To that point, there's been a lot of those types of things in WWE, right? Like, Julia is a great example. Julia is a very physical wrestler from, you know, the women's Japanese scene. She's what Stardom and all that. That is a very physical, very strong presentation. And I think one of the reasons that she's not really landing the way that they want her to is because they don't produce that type of television, right? Io Sky, Asuka, Kairi Sane, they're all kind of cut from that same cloth. Tekla, all those women are all from the same space.
Yeah.
And I think Julia isn't able to necessarily connect because you can see it's her being thrown into the ocean with like one paddle, right? And like kind of figure it out. She's relearning an entire move set. So I think both can be said about both companies. But again, and Meanie, I would love your take on an analysis on that. But I don't necessarily think it says anything wrong about the AEW creative. I just don't think Danhausen, and again, right, like you see Danhausen has this giant platform and he's very goofy and very silly, and it works with the WWE product.
Yeah. I mean, WWE's had the blueprint for how many decades now? You know, they've had the head start on everyone, you know, and when it comes to the creative, I mean, we've all watched Unreal. Sometimes you need multiple voices in the room. You know, AEW. I love Tony Khan.
Yeah.
I love AEW.
Yeah.
I wish Tony would sometimes, you know, hand off the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at Memphis wrestling, you know, Jerry Jarrett would have the book for 6 months. He you know, take 6 months off and hand the book to Lawler. Lawler would book for 6 months. Hand it back to Jerry. That way you don't get burnout, and that's what you don't get rust. You know, it's, you know, I mean, you're producing weekly television.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes 2 shows a week. You know, WWE's got how many shows there? You know, shows there 2 hours, 3 hours every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I got NXT. It's good to have a lot of voices in the room. Because the worst thing, the bravest thing, you know, anybody could ever say is, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just burn out and go, I don't know what to do. And then somebody could come in and say, how about this? And it sparks a memory in your brain. You go, that's what we can do. You know, I heard stories of, you know, Vince being in a creative meeting going, give me anything, even if it sucks. It might be an idea to spark something else.
Right.
WWE got a room full of people. WWE got a room full of people. AEW, you got one guy, and it's got to be tough. Like I said, I'm not criticizing Tony, but I'm just saying Tony could probably use a muse, so to speak, to help. You know, maybe 1 week, you know, Tony goes, I've got nothing. Here, you do. Who has ideas?
Right. Burnout's real. Burnout's fucking real.
Yeah. Everybody goes through it. You know, and, you know, that's maybe, you know, the Danhausen thing. WWE's had the blueprint on that for ages, you know? So, it's crazy. You know, you see Danhausen AEW. I mean, WWE, everything just looks brighter. His makeup looks crisper. You know, just everything just is bigger and brighter and more colorful and meaningful. You know, and they've invested in him. You know, with the whole laboratory setup and the Danhausen mobile and the blimp, and they're investing in the character because they know they're going to get a return on it because he's such a brilliant mind. You know.
I don't mean to. We're talking about Danhausen again, and I have to keep this muted because I don't want to get us hit by TKO bans here. But you have to imagine the EO Sky music while you're watching this. Okay, so this is for our Patreon viewers right now. So this is Danhausen and Minniehausen dancing.
That's great.
To EO Sky's music, and this such good shit. Okay, that's what it is.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I personally don't believe it has anything negative to say about the creative as a whole. I just think, again, like I said, sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. And you got to go where it does.
Yeah.
Last two questions here. Mass Sanity says, what match did you, meaning Blue, if you will, witness that was called in the ring that was different than what was planned, and why did it change?
Well, that's a good question. Other than Hogan and Rock.
Brother.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I'm fucking blanking.
Mm.
But I mean, Hogan Rock was the ultimate call in the ring type thing, you know. So excellent question. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
We'll have to come back to that one next week.
Bring it back next week.
Yep. Man Sandy, please write that down because I don't want to forget. And then little Jimmy with the last question here. He goes, hey, Meanie, have you gone to Burger King to pick up a collector's cup with any of the Star Wars combos?
I have not. I like Star Wars. I like the first three. I don't have the mental bandwidth to watch everything else that is Star Wars. I watched the first three because I was a kid in that era. Mm-hmm. You know, I watched the first one. I watched Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And for me, that was perfect. You know, I did watch one of the other ones in the theater just to watch it and enjoyed it. But if I was to, I just don't have the mental bandwidth to invest in that, and then all the multiple shows.
There's
and
a lot, dude. There's a lot.
It's the reason why I don't watch. That's why I don't watch like Marvel, the DC universe. It's like, all right, where do I jump on?
Yeah,
give me the chronology. So I don't want to watch anything. I'm a completist too. I don't want to watch things out of sync.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very much the same way.
Watch somebody go, I don't get that reference. Oh, well, you should have watched this first. Well, fuck me.
Yeah, where was the blueprint for this? There should have been instructions somewhere, goddammit. Yeah.
Number these fucking movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe Lucas could have numbered them. I don't know, Disney, if you're listening.
Yeah, but I need the chronology. What's chronology?
That's the nice thing. Actually, if you go into the Disney Plus login, you'll actually see when you go to the Star Wars profile, you'll see they have it listed in order. So you can start all the way. I think if I remember correctly, I want to say it's the Acolyte that starts before episode 1. If I remember correctly, it's the Acolyte. And then after that, it moves forward through the rest of the show. But I've watched the Obi-Wan series. I love the Obi-Wan series. I haven't had a chance to really sit. I started to watch The Mandalorian. I got through a couple of episodes, and I think either life just got in the way or whatever the reason. I'm not entirely I can't recall off the top of my head, but I do want to go back and watch that. I know that Darth Maul has a new animated series out that I want to watch that as well. I know there's the Book of Boba Fett that was like kind of controversial or it was a hit and miss for people, but I really like Star Wars. Like I really enjoy it. And I just haven't had a chance to go and watch it. Cause again, there's so much. Like I didn't even, there's Rebels and Clone Wars that I still need to go back and watch. And like, it's just, it's a gift and a curse when it comes to these things with the streaming platforms. Cause there is so much to watch, but on top of that, there's so much to watch. So
yeah.
But thank you
like
all.
You said, life gets in the way. So
that's what happens. And we want to thank you guys. Life didn't get in the way for us today here with our fine program. Meanie, I want to thank you each and every week for being here with us. Really
today was good.
It was a good show today. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Like I said, I'm hoping there's more drops coming up in this the UAP business, and I'm excited to talk about it more next week. But Meanie, you know what time it is.
Oh yeah.
Where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
Yeah, if you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all 4 social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie, BWO, on all forms of social media. I almost had that nailed. If you would like to support Blue Meanie, go to wrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. Next week, we will be doing a birthday sale next Monday, May 8th. As well as Mind of the Meanie. If you want to support Mind of the Meanie, go to wrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. We will do a birthday sale on both of those if you want to get your swag, so to speak, over there at Wrestling Tees. MattCareBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil or Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, who's doing amazing work. I can't speak today. downloads. The Blue Spruce Beard Oil or Balm. Your cat lover like myself, go over there. Every dime spent there goes to take care of the cats in his neighborhood. He rounds them up, takes them to the vet, and pays for it out of his own pocket. So go to madcapbeardcare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself, many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com, or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. Add the Blue Meanie on your podcast, podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register your podcast. Book the Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holiday well wishes. Did one this week for a wedding, which is very nice. I enjoy trying to make the place a little bit more brighter. So go to Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Book through the site. Please do not book through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned money that the talent doesn't see. So, with that said, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, good sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go and find me there. You can also check out my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to foundationradio.net or go to youtube.com/@foundationradiopod. Got lots of cool stuff coming up. I'm going to be doing some red carpet work, hopefully at Tribeca Film Festival next month. I'm just waiting on a bunch of the information there, and I will let you know as soon as I do. So go and check it out there. Don't forget to check out all my work at the Sportster, thesportster.com. Had a great conversation recently with the wrestling coordinator of the Apple TV show, Margot's Got Money, Troubles, Chavo Guerrero Jr., as well as the director. It's a great show. Love it. Also had the director of the Hulk Hogan Real American documentary, Brian Storkel, on. That was a great conversation as well. So those will be released. I think they're already out if they haven't been released already. And I got another fun one coming up with TNA play-by-play commentator Tom Hannafin, who is a Philly guy. Yes. And I got him to rank, he's from Philadelphia. He's from the Philadelphia area. So I got him to rank, and he went to Penn State. So I got him to rank all the fun stuff on the east and the west coast of the state. So that's a lot of fun. Had a great conversation about TNA, which is coming back. Also, free plug for them. Coming back to Philadelphia on July 30th and 31st at the Leacourse Center. Down there in Philadelphia. So go to TNAwrestling.com and get your tickets today. Also, WWE will be back at the Atlantic City Convention Center or whatever it's called. I think it's the Convention Center down there. It was also in July. I think it's around the same time. Nice. And we also have AEW coming up back here at the end of this month at the Leacourse Center. So lots of wrestling coming to Philadelphia, friends. So no excuse not to go and see at least something. So don't forget to go there. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop at downtown Lawrenceville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Don't forget to schedule your appointment to see Kane and the rest of the team at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just 10 human monies, and you can sign up and watch us record each and every week. And don't forget to go to youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. You can watch all of our programs and shows going all the way back to the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2022. We want to thank you for being here. And don't forget to follow all of our socials at Mind of the Meanie. It's the same thing everywhere, so you can find us all over the place. And you have no excuse not to follow us. So we appreciate you being here. And you could be anywhere else on your Sunday or Monday or Tuesday morning. And you choose to be here with us. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. And Meanie, I appreciate you, good sir.
I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you very much. And for the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.